All right, so we'll start off with a question from Mark YT on YouTube, and the question is for Kurt. Knowing Ospreay is quicker and younger, what is your plan to defeat him? And then my question for you, Kurt, would be, what's the big deal about one person's opinion saying Will has more 5-star matches than you? Like, why does that even matter?
To answer both questions the best way I can, I owe Will Ospreay here a great deal of gratitude. It's because of his matches getting such high praise from the wrestling world that lit a fire under me and made me get in the best shape of my life. It pisses me off that after all of my accolades and accomplishments, a little gymnastics wannabe who dances around in high school gyms can even be in the same industry as me. I've wanted this match for so long now that the moment he grabbed that other title, I was screaming in celebration on the inside. In 7 days, you will all see the difference in a pretender and an Olympic gold medalist.
Well, we have two similar questions for Ospreay. K&P Figure Fed says, how do you plan on becoming United States champion when facing someone with more strength and experience? Then the Wrestling Blader asks, how excited are you in facing an Olympic gold medalist, and what's your game plan for the match?
I honestly never knew Kurt was so bothered by the opinion of my matches. He's always been someone I've looked up to, and I very much respect what he's done in this industry, but he's stuck in the past. He can be stronger and more experienced, but the game has evolved, and a match against me is like no match he's ever been a part of. What he did to Evan Bourne just to get under my skin is inexcusable and downright disgusting. Injuries have put a damper on my career in the big leagues thus far, but I'm finally 100%, and my quest to carving out a Hall of Fame-worthy career starts with winning that United States Championship.
I got a question for you, Will. When the lights are the brightest, the atmosphere is bigger than you've ever imagined, and I bite down on that mouthpiece and lock in my ankle lock, will you tap out and live to continue your journey in TWFC, or will you be stubborn and wind up like Evan's snapped ankle, just another underdog story that eventually fizzled out? You just got back. I don't think you can afford another year on the sidelines.
I guess we'll just have to wait and see if you can lock that in. But the real question is, what are you going to do when it's 35 minutes into the match? The pace is way quicker than you could have imagined. You realize you've thrown everything you have at the man you called an indie nobody, but it wasn't enough. You're gasping for air. You're not as young as you once were, but I'm just starting to catch my second wind. You think to yourself, how is this possible? He seems just as fresh as the moment the opening bell rang. Your body is shaking with adrenaline. It's been pushed to its limits.
Enough of this foolishness. It's a fantasy, Will. Those kind of matches only happen when your opponents are amateur. You see this? This is a symbol that says I can out-wrestle anyone on planet Earth.
It's from 96, bruv. That was 3 decades ago. This industry has evolved.
We'll see what happens. I bet you don't make it 5 minutes.
Whatever you say, bro.
7 days, you'll see.
Well, gentlemen, we thank you both for participating in this press conference, and we wish you both luck in your match this weekend. WrestleFest, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a banger. The Olympic gold medalist Kurt Angle versus the aerial assassin Will Ospreay to crown the first United States champion of the new TWFC era.
Excuse me. Bray? I was wondering if I could get a word with you. Oh my God. Hello? What's going on?
What the hell? What's wrong with you, Alexa?
I have a message from Bray Wyatt, silly. He officially accepts your request for a match at WrestleFest. And the match he chooses is the first ever household brawl.
A household brawl? Am I supposed to know what that means?
There's a great big world all around us, Darby. A higher plane of existence. He will show you the way. All you gotta do is let him in.
What the... I don't know what the hell that was all about, but we already know Wyatt is a master of mind games, a higher existence all around us. Whatever it means, I know one thing. I need you with me at WrestleFest, and we gotta be ready for anything.
Well, as you can see, the staff is getting ready to host the 3 men that will do battle for the World Heavyweight Championship on the stage. Roman Reigns now making his way up. It's the final clash in the saga of the Shield. One final encounter to crown a world heavyweight champion and determine who was the best man of that trio all along. This one is going to be absolutely out of control, but what else could you expect with these three? We're talking about three of the most successful individuals this industry has ever known. Let's take a look at some questions they answered earlier today. So our first question comes from X Black, and he asked Seth Rollins, do you really think you can trust Paul Heyman after what he's done in his past and with the bloodline? A similar question from Bo Murphy asking Seth Rollins if he thinks Paul Heyman is really here from him or he will turn on him eventually. And then a question from Time to Wrestle. Paul Heyman and Seth Rollins, where do you plan to take this alliance, and will we be seeing more people?
Seems like every question aimed at me these days are all about my relationship with Paul Heyman. If I didn't have 100% confidence in Paul, we wouldn't be together. What you see between me and him is the sum of years on top of years, of being on opposite sides, only to realize we were the main factor that made our sides great to begin with, so joining forces could only make us both that much better.
In regards to the other question about could we see more people in the future, if by more people you mean more people who we steamroll on our way to the top, then yes. If you're asking could there be more members added to our alliance, I would like to say with all due respect, why the hell would we tell you that? All you need to know for now is that after the first 3 years of TWFC completely overlooking this man, the Seth Rollins era is now.
Well, T.O.'s Revenge asks all three members of the Shield, through betrayals, championships, legacies, everything, who walks out of this match as the best member of the Shield and who walks out forgotten?
That's exactly what I've been saying from the beginning. The only way this ends is if two of us are forgotten, cease to exist, eliminated. And I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that I'm the one walking out with the title and the legacy of the Shield.
Like anybody's going to say anything besides themselves. I guess it doesn't really matter what any of us say, though, does it? It's all about who's going to want it more that night. You can expect the Friday the 13th hockey mask Moxley. It's not going to be pretty.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back where each member of the Shield is preparing to make their closing statements before WrestleFest.
You know that Uhafala is a symbol bestowed upon me by my family. It's crazy to think at one time I actually thought you two were my family, my brothers, and that's what makes this so difficult. In a way, what I'm going to do at WrestleFest is going to be like killing my own flesh and blood. We've all tried to move on and put our Shield days in the past, but somehow, some way, it always ends up coming back to haunt us. It's like I've been saying for a week now. We're past the point of talking. There's nothing left to say. This is war. I'll always have a certain respect for the role you both played in my story, but in order for me to continue, you both gotta go. I'm leaving WrestleFest World Heavyweight Champion and sole survivor of the Shield, and you can believe that.
You know, we've all done some really bad things to each other, and everybody else in this business for that matter. But one thing about me is I did it my way. We all did whatever was necessary to make it to the top and didn't care who we stepped on to get there, but one thing that separates me from you both is the fact that I did it all without selling my soul. I didn't need the help of the corporate suits. I didn't need the machine to make me the guy. I did it with blood, sweat, and tears. We're not the same. I agree that the only way to end this is to permanently end you both, but I don't think you two have what it takes to have the kind of matches I'm known for. My best advice is that you both hug your families tight. Come WrestleFest, everybody's not gonna make it home. And that's all I got left to say.
You should both be on your knees thanking me for the careers you've had. All of this was my creation. I built this dynasty and I tore it down, but I guess I didn't tear it down good enough. We've all had our time on top of this industry, but since TWFC started him the odd man out, I've sat back and watched you both climb the mountain here, but destiny brought us all back together for this historic moment. I have to end you both in order for me to emerge. I need you both out of the way permanently so that I can take my rightful place on the throne. One last date with destiny awaits us all. May the best man survive.
May the best man survive. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, powerful words from those three. For one final time, the Shield will do battle. This is not something we had planned. The Shield triple threat, it's played out, but it's 2025 and all three of these men have still found a way to each other. We're gonna settle this once and for all. We guarantee this is the last meeting between these three as a unit. My God, I cannot wait. Is it about the championship? Is it about this rivalry? We're going to find out at WrestleFest. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the main event dream match of WrestleFest. They're in a face-off right now. About to answer a few questions for this monumental dream match. All right, so gentlemen, we're going to do this one different, seeing as it's the main event, and every question is pretty much either about Shawn's age or what this match would mean to win or lose for both of y'all, giving the generational age gap here. Speak to us about how important this monumental dream match is at WrestleFest.
So a term that gets thrown around a lot in our business is, this is the biggest match of my career, but in this case, it's more than accurate. If you're extremely lucky in this business, on a very rare occasion, an opportunity for a match that somehow transcends championship gold will present itself, and when that opportunity comes, you better be ready to seize the moment. This is that moment, that match for me, a once-in-a-lifetime dream match that wasn't even thought to be a possibility just a few months ago. A battle between two generations, a chance to answer the question, what if? The American Nightmare Cody Rhodes versus the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. So, yeah, there's a lot of pressure to come away victorious. But just as much as this man has left a legacy of stealing the show and rising to the challenge in the big match situations, I have been steadily laying the groundwork for a legacy of my own. No matter the challenge, big or small, I always come to give 100%. Even when I can't physically be at my best, whether it's been broken ribs, concussions, separated shoulders, and the list goes on and on, I've still always shown up and gave it my all. When things got tough for you, Shawn, you lost your smile, left this industry, and vacated the world championship. When things got tough for me, I left and started working 10 times harder all around the world until they had no choice but to recognize my dedication to this business. And that's the difference between us. When things get too hard for you, you'll give up. But I don't know what it means to give up. And at WrestleFest, you're going to find that out the hard way.
I'm certainly glad you're feeling so confident, Cody, because like I've said since day one, I don't want any excuses. Now, as far as the ring rust goes, that's not an issue for me. Like I've said previously, I made sure to train and get back in ring shape over a year before I ever even announced that I would be coming back for one more match. I'm truly in the best shape of my life. I'm risking my legacy to do this. I wouldn't even entertain a return to the ring against the top performer of this generation if I didn't truly believe that I could deliver the HBK the pro wrestling world has come to expect when I'm in that ring. You say that you don't know what it means to give up. Well, I'll remind you, Cody, you don't have to give up because one sweet chin music out of nowhere and it's lights out that quick. And that's exactly what's coming for you at WrestleFest. One way or another, I'll hit it, you'll hit the mat, and the boys in the back will hit my music as they announce the winner of the match, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels.
Obviously, we both believe that we'll emerge victorious, so I guess all that's left to say is, good luck, Shawn, and may the best man win.
Luck doesn't exist in this business, Cody. Only hard work and skill, meeting determination and grit, and the best man will win.
Well, there you have it right there, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, they shake on it. I cannot wait to see that generational matchup at WrestleFest.
I'm here with the two general managers of TWFC. What are your guys' opinions on who walks out victorious in this one?
Well, it's like I was just telling Steve, it's a tough one here. Of course, I'm biased when it comes to Shawn Michaels, but I can personally attest to the fact that when he says he's in the best shape of his life, he means every bit of that. He's gotten in tremendous shape, and watching him train is like going back in time, man. He's really going to shock some people. And Cody, I mean, he's Cody, you know. It doesn't get any better than him as far as today's performers, so we'll see. It's going to be something special that's too hard to call. But if I had to go one way or the other, I'll go Shawn.
Triple H officially backing Shawn Michaels to get the win. Steve, your thoughts?
Shawn is definitely one of the greatest of all time, but it's 2025. I don't care how good a shape he's supposed to be in. He's got to find a way to beat Cody Rhodes, and I just don't see that happening. If anybody could after this long away from the ring, it'd be Shawn, but I got to say Cody Rhodes.
We got a split decision here. One thing's for sure, though. This is going to be a historic match. Before we get out of here, I just want to say it's good to see you two together after exchanging words last week. Looks like you two can coexist after all.
Well, hell, it ain't like he's got much of a choice now, does he? He's going to be seeing a whole lot more Stone Cold from now on.
Oh, I absolutely love it. But ladies and gentlemen, that concludes this broadcast. TWFC WrestleFest is coming your way. The United States Championship match. Kurt Angle versus Will Ospreay. We got matches such as the Intercontinental Championship match. Main event Jey Uso versus the Ring General Gunther. How about this household brawl that we just learned about? We don't know what the hell that's gonna be, but with these two, you can expect something absolutely crazy. And then years in the making for the World Heavyweight Championship, the final encounter of the 3 original members of the Shield. That's gonna be a big one. The Fatal 4-Way match where Brody King's Hardcore Championship and MJF's TWFC title will be on the line. And then the Dream match. The Generational Grudge match, the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes versus the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels. All of that and more coming to you live at the first major event of the new era, TWFC WrestleFest.